My younger brother, Tom, 26M, proposed to my fiancée, Lisa, 26F, in front of our entire family, and I'm furious. For context, Tom and Lisa were briefly involved back in August 2022. Their relationship lasted only a month before Tom ended it, claiming he wasn't interested in commitment and found the relationship dull. At the time, I, 28M, was living in another state and unaware that Tom even had a girlfriend, so I had no knowledge of Lisa until we met. I crossed paths with Lisa at a bar in October after moving back home, and we instantly connected. She was stunning, witty, and unlike anyone I'd ever met. We went out a few more times before officially becoming a couple. By December, I felt ready to introduce her to my family and suggested they meet her during the Christmas gathering. I hadn't shared much about her with them, as I tend to keep my personal life private until I'm certain about a relationship. When I showed my family a photo of Lisa passing my phone around at dinner, Tom exploded, accusing me of betraying him by dating his ex. He demanded I end things with her, but I refused. I later asked Lisa about their history, and she confirmed they dated briefly before Tom broke it off because he lost interest. It took weeks, but Tom eventually stopped complaining about me dating his ex, and I assumed he'd moved on. For Lisa's birthday this year, I organized a special dinner with both our families and her closest friends, where I proposed to her. Tom lost it again, ranting about my engagement to Lisa, but my sisters and I quickly shut him down. The latest incident happened this past weekend. Tom had been unusually quiet for 2 months, and I hadn't seen him much, assuming he'd gone low contact, which I was fine with. Then he invited Lisa and me to a family dinner at his place with our parents and sisters. I found it odd, but since everyone else was attending, we agreed. The dinner was pleasant, nothing extravagant, and we moved to the living room to chat. About half an hour into casual conversation, Tom stood up, announced he had something important to say, and launched into a speech about how much it meant to have his family there for a significant moment. Then he dropped to one knee, pulled out a cheap ring, and proposed to Lisa. She was visibly confused and uncomfortable, telling him to stop and put the ring away. Our dad tried to intervene, but I reacted first, punching Tom. I was too enraged to catch everything he said, but he mumbled something about wanting to prove Lisa wasn't truly into me and was just trying to spite him. My parents quickly pulled me out, promising to deal with him. It's been a few days and I'm still livid. I'm worried Lisa might reconsider marrying me because of this mess. Any advice? Edit. Thanks for reading and responding. I've been going through comments since last night and many of you raised valid points. There hasn't been an update yet, as I've only spoken to Lisa and my younger sister since the dinner. I'd like to address some recurring questions from the comments. Lisa and I are newly engaged. It felt right, we both knew we were in this for the long haul. Though it's fast, I'm confident in our relationship. When we met, I approached Lisa, not the other way around. I asked her if she knew Tom and I were brothers, and she said she had no clue. I believed her then, but Tom's extreme reaction has me questioning things slightly. I was unaware of Tom and Lisa's history when we met. Tom and I aren't close. We were once, but as adults, we drifted apart, only speaking on occasions like birthdays. Lisa knew little about my family until I introduced her, as I'm private about them. I was told their relationship lasted a month. I didn't think I needed Tom's permission to propose to Lisa, but maybe I should have considered his feelings more. I plan to sit down with Tom this weekend to clear the air and get his side of their relationship. I realize I never asked for his perspective, which was an oversight. If anything significant comes up, I'll update. For now, that's all. Comments where Op replied, on his family comments. I've heard this from my mom and a few aunts, but they know Tom and I aren't close enough for me to tolerate his disrespect, especially toward Lisa. They're wasting their time pushing that narrative. On Lisa. I'm not worried about her going back to Tom. She can't stand him, and it's mutual. Update 1. Thanks again for the support and feedback, even the critiques. It's been a hectic weekend, so I haven't responded to many comments, but I addressed common questions in my edit. Here's the update. I called Tom and asked him to meet at my place to talk. I offered to have Lisa there, but said I'd respect his choice if he preferred she not be. He agreed to talk with both of us and arrived around noon today. It was tense at first, but I broke the ice by apologizing for not giving him a heads up about proposing to Lisa and for punching him. He brushed it off but said he appreciated the apology. I shared what Lisa told me about their brief relationship and breakup, asking him to confirm if it was accurate. I explained that his over-the-top reactions made me question if I'd underestimated their history. He admitted they dated for a few weeks, and he ended it because he got bored. Lisa asked if his behavior stemmed from lingering feelings or regret. Tom said he found her more attractive now, but had no emotional attachment or regrets. He argued that seeing his ex, even from a short-term fling with his older brother, felt like a violation, and I shouldn't have pursued her. I pointed out that I didn't know about their history when I met her, so it wasn't intentional. He dismissed that, insisting I should have ended things regardless. He claimed he'd have done the same if the roles were reversed, which I doubt. When I asked why he proposed to Lisa, he said a friend from when he dated her suggested Lisa might have known we were brothers and was using me to get revenge, as she'd seemed hung up on him post-breakup. They thought proposing would test if she'd leave me for him. Lisa asked why he thought she was hung up on him. He said he heard she asked about him once after their breakup and kept visiting their old hangout spots. Lisa clarified she only asked about him once and had been going to those places with friends long before they dated. She was offended at the idea she'd date me to spite him. Tom gave a half-hearted apology, but said she should see his perspective. Lisa reiterated she didn't suspect we were brothers until we were in the same room, as we don't resemble each other or act alike. He accepted that, and the conversation ended. Before leaving, Tom said I could rescind his wedding invitation, as he couldn't support our relationship knowing he dated her. I told him he was already uninvited. I feel better after the talk. My parents aren't thrilled about Tom's exclusion, but they agree it's mutual and probably best. My sisters said they knew Tom was just being a jerk and support my decision. I'm limiting contact with Tom, and I doubt he'll reach out soon. If anything major happens, I'll update. Comments where Op replied, "Why did Lisa know about your family? Early in our relationship, I didn't share much about them. I distanced myself from my parents and only started reconnecting at my sister's urging when I moved back. I told Lisa I wasn't close with them, and she was fine not knowing details given the situation." Update 2. Note: Updates 2 and 3 were posted together, but Update 3 occurred about 2 weeks after Update 2, likely due to subreddit posting issues. This is posted directly to my profile for those following. I've been low contact with Tom since our talk. We only interact at family gatherings. My mom is now upset that Tom's still uninvited to my wedding. The issue came up during my younger sister Sarah's 22F birthday, where her boyfriend of 4 years proposed. While discussing her dream destination wedding, Sarah jokingly asked if I'd mind Tom attending hers. I laughed and said her guest list was her choice. My mom gave me a strange look and asked if Tom was still banned from my wedding. I confirmed he was, and she got annoyed, calling me unreasonable for holding a grudge against family. She said she thought I was joking and accused me of being petty. I reminded her that Tom and I mutually agreed he wouldn't attend, and Sarah's party wasn't the place to discuss my wedding. Sarah scolded Mom for making her day about Tom, and Mom dropped it. Tom wasn't at the party as he had work. Days later, Mom visited my house to talk about my wedding. She asked why I was so set on excluding Tom, saying I shouldn't be insecure about his past with Lisa. I reiterated that Tom and I agreed he wouldn't come, and he could address it himself if he felt differently. We argued, and she said if I didn't re-invite Tom, she wouldn't attend, as I was alienating her son. I told her she could skip the wedding if that's her choice. I wouldn't beg her to come. She asked if I was okay with her absence, and I said it wouldn't be the first time she prioritized Tom over me. She accused me of dragging up her past mistakes and stormed out. I started getting calls and texts from Mom and some relatives, saying I was wrong and should invite Tom for peace. Lisa's also received messages from Mom urging her to convince me, but she hasn't responded. Most of Mom's family is boycotting the wedding in solidarity with her, but my dad, his siblings, and my sisters are still attending, along with Lisa's family. I spoke to Tom, who confirmed he uninvited himself and doesn't understand the fuss, as he doesn't want to attend. He asked to stay out of the drama. I'm unsure about re-inviting Mom and her family if they reconsider, but I'm leaning against it and told Dad as much. He understands. Lisa and I are exploring a smaller venue due to the reduced guest list. Update 3, 2 weeks after Mom's boycott decision, she came over to clear the air. We invited her for dinner, and Lisa served her a plate. I asked if she was still skipping the wedding. She said she wanted to attend, but couldn't accept Tom's exclusion over a minor mistake. I reminded her he proposed to my fiancé in front of me, and she called it a prank. Lisa asked why she wanted to talk if her stance hadn't changed. Mom admitted she hoped to catch Lisa alone, thinking I was at work, to persuade her to convince me to re-invite Tom. Mom then called Lisa weak for not speaking without me, sparking a heated argument. Mom accused Lisa of tearing our family apart. As Lisa opened the door to leave, Mom grabbed her hair, pulled her down, and scratched her face while yelling. I pulled Mom off and threw her outside. She banged on the door briefly before leaving and bombarded us with calls. I texted her to never contact us again. I informed my dad and sisters, who were shocked. Dad made excuses, citing Mom's stress, but my sisters called her unstable and checked on Lisa. Lisa declined to press charges, wanting to avoid Mom's arrest, but I urged her to at least document it for safety. She agreed to consider it. My sisters and Lisa's mom have been supportive, and Mom is blocked on all platforms until Lisa decides otherwise. I'm unsure what to do. Lisa's reluctance to involve police stems from guilt, but my sisters and I want to convince her to at least file a report for documentation. Comments where Op replied, on Tom taking responsibility. He could have stopped this by owning his actions, but he doesn't grasp accountability. He genuinely believes he's blameless for Mom's behavior, and I doubt I can change his mind. On pressing charges, Nav 12. Lisa's against formal charges, but after reading comments and discussing escalation risks, agreed to document the incident with police as a precaution. She wants to talk to Dad about getting Mom therapy for her erratic behavior. We're moving forward with no contact. Clarification. Background on my parents. Some asked about my strained relationship with my parents and why I didn't share much with Lisa. Here's context. Tom was the golden child. Mom doted on him openly, spending more time and money on him than my sisters and me. He got new clothes and toys, while we shared hand-me-downs. If Tom misbehaved, I was blamed for not setting a good example. For instance, when Tom got in trouble at school for bullying at age 8, I was grounded for 2 weeks for failing to guide him. At 13, I earned a $25 weekly allowance for chores like mowing the lawn. When Tom wanted an allowance, Mom took $10 from mine to give him, despite him doing no work. By high school, we barely spoke. At 17, I got a job to save for a car. When Tom got his license, Mom pressured me to share it with him, which I did. Later, she demanded I give him the car, threatening to kick me out when I refused. I had no choice but to transfer ownership. My parents skipped my high school graduation because Tom didn't want to attend, and Mom wouldn't leave him alone. They made a dinner to make up for it, but it included shrimp, which I'm allergic to. After graduating, I worked 2 jobs, bought another car, and moved away for college, cutting contact. Mom tried reaching out through my sisters and Tom, but I ignored her and threatened a restraining order to stop the harassment. When I moved back, my sister Charlotte convinced me to try reconciling, as my parents were in therapy. I agreed cautiously but kept Lisa in the dark initially, unsure of where either relationship was headed. Comments where Op replied, on not demanding car reimbursement, it wasn't worth the fight. The damage was done and I moved on. On Tom's favoritism, there was nothing extraordinary about him. He was just a regular kid, but my parents chose to favor him for no clear reason. Update 4. Thank you all for the advice and kind words. Lisa and I have read your comments and we're grateful. To address why I reconnected with my parents, I did it for my sister Charlotte, who wanted a united family for her child's birth. She rarely asks for anything, so I agreed to try for her sake. Part of me also hoped my parents had changed. I don't regret it. Despite their awfulness, I met Lisa, so it's a win. We filed a police report about Mom's assault. Though Lisa doesn't want to pursue charges, we provided evidence like photos of her injuries and texts with my parents. The police said it's not our call if it escalates, but will consider our preference. They advised documenting future incidents. Mom sent around 100 angry texts, indicating they spoke to her. She later confronted me outside my workplace, yelling that I was ruining her life by reporting her. She hit my chest and arm before security intervened. My boss was understanding after I explained. Lisa and I decided to go fully no contact with my family, except my sisters, as they caused too much stress. Lisa suggested moving away to distance ourselves from my parents. She's tired of their drama and Dad's enabling. I agreed and will start therapy soon, with Lisa helping me find a therapist. I called Dad to inform him of our decision, and he insisted Mom join the call. I explained that their favoritism of Tom and disrespect toward Lisa and me made reconciliation impossible. I told Mom her scapegoating and attack on Lisa were unforgivable. She cried, saying she regretted having me and that I was ruining her life. Lisa called her out harshly, and Mom went silent. Dad argued we're family and shouldn't let past mistakes divide us, but I said their focus on Tom and Mom's actions left no room for repair. I hung up and blocked them. I emailed my extended family, uninviting everyone except my sisters and Dad's siblings, linking my posts for context. Some relatives are upset I shared family issues online, while others are shocked at my parents' behavior. I told Tom I wasn't cutting him off but wouldn't reach out either. He wished me well and left it at that. Lisa and I are planning to move 3 hours away, near her brother. I'm exploring a job transfer, and she's looking into remote work or a new job. With a smaller guest list, her brother offered his lake house for the wedding. I don't plan to update further unless something major happens, but I'll answer questions. Happy holidays. Comments where Op replied. On Mom finding us, I expect she'll try to track us down. She gets obsessive when she doesn't get her way. I'm consulting a lawyer about a restraining order. On Mom reading comments. My sister Sarah says Mom read many and dismisses them, saying strangers can't judge her.